apparently, according to come on, dude, this is not. I don't know about that. Oh, okay. A former Apprentice staffer has claimed that Trump was a speed freak who invited beauty contestants up to his suite. Well, a teen beauty contestants up to his suite. Let me say, I don't know either of those things.
People
those
are
are
saying,
speculation, but a lot of people are saying it. And when people say things,
you have to report it.
Gotta report it. And also, you have to believe them, because I totally believe both of those things. I actually think I think the theory that Trump is a speed freak is actually the only charitable way. Like, if Trump isn't on speed, then he's maybe the worst human the planet's ever had, right? Like, I think Trump being a speed freak is probably one of the better case scenarios. This is a friend, TMBS crew, Majority Report friend, and a great journalist, Corey Pine, tweets this out. The late Wayne Barrett, who's of course a legendary New York City journalist,
interviewed on the show
like shortly before his death, but one of the indispensable resources for understanding Donald Trump and the whole disgusting little Trump cabal. The late Wayne Barrett also investigated the rumor that Trump was hospitalized for an amphetamine overdose in IIRC.
If I remember correctly.
If I remember correctly, the early 90s, had key interviews but didn't publish for lack of documents.
And he's quote tweeting Ashley Feinberg.
Oh yeah, and this was right.
She wrote this in 2016.
Right. Everyone should always listen to me, always, in my opinion. And this is back a Gawker piece. And everybody should just look if you're watching on YouTube. That's so good.
Shout out to the Splinter Gawker arts department. They always do a good job.
All right, this is Ashley Feinberg. Rumor. Trump doctor prescribes. A lot of people are saying it. And by the way, doctors saying it. Rumor. Doctor prescribes Donald Trump, quote unquote, cheap speed. And this is a piece. I remember actually reading this piece in 2016. Let's read the top graph of it. I'm quoting now from Ashley Feinberg. Back in December, Donald Trump's personal doctor declared to the world that Trump would be the healthiest individual to ever elected to the presidency.
Everyone knows that, and it almost wouldn't even have to be said.
Well, that particular claim is unfalsifiable, though almost certainly incorrect. According to a source with knowledge of Trump's current prescriptions, that letter isn't telling the whole story. Most notably, Donald Trump's allegedly still taking speed-like diet pills. Rumors of Trump's predilection for stimulants first reported, I like this phrasing, first started really popping up in 1992 when Spy magazine wrote, quote, "Have you ever wondered why Donald Trump has acted so erratically at times, full of manic energy, paranoid, garrulous, well, he was a patient of Dr. Joseph Greenberg from 1982 to 1985. At the time, Dr. Greenberg was notorious for allegedly doling out prescription stimulants to anyone who could pay."
Deal should have never been thought of.
I mean, untreated syphilis or speed would be the most generous explanations of Donald Trump, or like horrifying childhood abuse.
Yeah.
That would probably make any of us sympathetic for anybody.
If this was
those are the best speculations.
If this was an episode of House MD, we're like after the first commercial break, still we've got like two different hypotheses. But it's really starting to narrow down into those
right.
couple ones. It's unclear which one's going to be.
We don't know.
Could be both.
But could be everything. I could just be every type of fucked up that is humanly possible. And for all of these, like, I remember every time that we've joked or pointed in the direction of, you know, we don't know, but at least credible reporting on this. I know a certain segment of idiot on YouTube who does a lot of like, or like on Twitter, who does a lot of concern trolling, will be like, "These guys, I can't believe it. Tabloid journalism." Sometimes tabloids turn out to be correct. And when you're dealing...
like Nixon got away with the open secret that he beat his wife.
How did he get away? I don't know that story.
Basically, so Anthony Summers, sort of. Well, I don't want to get into that. Cy Hirsch, in his most recent book, came out and said, like, yeah, we all knew about it, but that wasn't sort of a newsworthy thing. You kind of hushed that up, right?
So it was just a misogynist context of the time,
yeah,
basically. Okay, but that point being, and also, like, look, you don't ever make stuff up or report things that are wrong. But when you're dealing with a dangerous, erratic, corrupt, authoritarian politicians in general, you explore every viable angle of who they are. And that story, we have no idea if it's true, but it's viable. That is a definite viable story.
Yeah, I mean, and it's sort of, you think about Kennedy, you talk about his sort of health problems that might have been certainly irrelevant in certain cases, like was it Addison's disease or whatever? He was taking steroids in his back.
Right.
That also might have made his libido a bit overactive. Like that's a known side effect of what Kennedy was on, and also like Nixon was.
Oh my God!
Nixon was on.
More.
I think I forget the type of Dialopin or something like that.
Yeah,
like
he was on Dialopin. I actually did know that for some reason. But wasn't he also? Was he a?
Yeah, you can hear in the Nixon tapes because the recording device is in his desk. When he moves his like drinks on the table,
his tumbler.
You can hear the tumbler like like setting down on the table every time. It's actually one of the more audible things on those tapes. And it sucks, but like these sorts of personal things can be relevant when we don't have a lot of these decisions aren't taken with democratic transparency, I guess.
Right. Definitely. And also, I just think, frankly, like, there's a democratic, like, first the centrist mainstream Democrats did, like, oh, we're not, unfortunately, the unfortunate phrase, when they go high, when they go low, we go high, right? And that is just, it's not going to work in political warfare. But then there's this, like, crazy overcompensation that some people did, where it was like, oh, we have to find our own Trump, who's just as ridiculous, just as over the top, and that's not going to work in the Democratic Party. It's not going to work to put together the coalition that you need to defeat Trump. It's going to need to be different. But if ever there was like the type of story that a good Democratic candidate could intimate just to freak Trump out and make him look ridiculous in a debate, as an example, that would be the type of thing I'd like to see them doing. I would love to see Bernie Sanders or Sherrod Brown or Kamala Harris or Beto O'Rourke. I'm super agnostic for purposes of example of whoever it is, right? On a debate stage, and I don't know how you do it, but just the type of like, you couldn't be like, why are you sniffling? You all right? Like, whoa, you seem a little amped up. Like, do what he does in terms of like everybody's saying it, hinting at it. I think if the right person did it in the right way, it's exactly the type of thing that would get under his skin and make him make an ass of himself, which would be great.
Yeah. I mean, I'm out. That's politics, babe. This isn't.
That's politics. 100%.
Trump should have been trolled with the Epstein thing, but he couldn't for reasons we've already went in on.
Precisely.